Hey guys, it's Sophia. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 things that editors need to know when working remote. There's a bunch of things that editors just forget about, such as organizing, just common things that editors don't do that, would probably make their editing experience a lot easier and better. I don't know what Widget's doing, but he apparently wants to be part of this video, so do your thing, Widget. Do your thing. Let's get right into it, and hopefully these tips and tricks help you guys organize your editing experience and make it more efficient. So I wrote everything on my phone, and I'm just gonna go through the list. I go to film school, and these things were not told to me. These are things that I found out through experience of work. So these are just things that worked for me. But I assume they would work well for all editors just because the workflow is pretty much the same. Even if it's like personal editing that you're doing for like YouTube videos or like for your job or for your business. But if it's for an editing company, you're working for a post-production company like I do, these things also work. So the first thing is get a place where you can organize all your media and send it off to clients or whoever you're making the video for if you're not making it for yourself. One common place that people use is Google Drive, but just because it's free. But there's also Frame.io. I think there's a free trial when you sign up. I'm gonna link everything down below so you can check it out. But Frame.io is like what more professional editors use if they're not just sending over a hard drive to a client. So it's easy, you can just download it straight to your downloads folder or wherever you want on your drive or wherever you locate your work. For straight shot post, use Parsec to share. Usually we would be working in the office, but we can't because it's remote. So we use Parsec to share one server, one computer that we can all work off of, or multiple computers, so we all have access to the same footage and media. You can also like video call and edit together. There's also, I know there's a collaborative way to edit on Premiere, but for remote work, I would suggest using Parsec or something. It also helps you to meet certain deadlines. You can easily access your footage and media and exports through Frame.io, and you can easily get comments and things like that and organize everything into like different folders. Like it's a pretty basic folder structure basically that everyone on your team can access. And having everything in one place is just automatically better than just like sending back and forth emails to people or like WeTransfer or something like that. You can access everything, especially if it's like 100 gigabytes of footage for one project. It's like a lot better if you do it from, say, Frame.io. The next one is make sure you're getting accurate feedback from either your clients or your boss or just somebody you're working with, you're editing for. This includes style, branding, format, codec, etc., resolution. So you want to take meticulous notes. You want to make sure that you're getting everything that they want in the video, so you don't have to go back and edit it. It's very frustrating when like either you didn't listen to specific instructions and you didn't do those edits, or your boss or your client just doesn't even mention those mistakes. It's hard to like catch every single mistake remotely when you're not like looking at the clips like together. So yeah, it's easy for the editor to miss mistakes, it's easier for the client to miss mistakes, so it's just little things like that. And another thing, you want to ask for time-coded references. You don't have to look, if it's like a long clip, you don't want to look through the whole entire video to find that one or two mistakes that the client wants to fix. Looking through like a whole video is like potentially could take up way more time than you would want. You'll want to always showcase your rough cut just because you want to see like what kind of direction you may end up going in. If you don't know yourself, you can ask your clients or your teammates. Just show them your rough cut and make sure you're going in the right direction. I thought that little like short clips were more easily consumable and more informative, so I would just like make little creative suggestions here and there. And as I'd hire me as a startup, my contributions were extremely valued, which I am thankful for. I will never forget that internship experience. It was probably one of the best I've ever had. But yeah, you just want to make it known ideas that you have or directions you may want to go. It's very important to communicate as an editor. You're not just doing a job. I mean, that's the essence of filmmaking. That's why people get into filmmaking. Even editors want to have that creative contribution and have their ideas valued and heard. Third is short and sweet, but extremely important as well. You want to make backups of your edits and your project files and all your media. You want to make everything accessible for a later date, or for the present. This happens a lot. Project files can get corrupt for literally no reason on, say, Premiere. So if that happens, your footage could be lost. You want copies of your original footage, your original media, and make sure that you have everything so that you can always access it. These are my drives. I usually use the Samsung as my primary hard drive, and then I'll use my Toshiba, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, but I use that one as a backup. I use either the 2 terabyte one or the 3 terabyte one, just because I know how frustrating it is when you lose something that was in a project. It's so annoying and it's so frustrating, especially if you're working for somebody else and you can't get that file back. It's not a good situation to be in. So just back up everything. Number 4, manage your time. Figure out when you like to edit. I like to edit at night, and I figured that out early. I just have a lot of distractions in my house, so it's not easy to have a quiet space. I like to work in the dark, like a weird hermit, but that's how I work. I like to work at night when it's quiet, dark, there's no distractions. And this can be kind of hard if you're working on an hourly rate or you're supposed to work during the day, like 9 to 5. So I would recommend that you do something productive, like maybe pre-production or like whatever other roles were assigned to you or are included in the job during the day, because you want to maintain your reputation as an editor. And if you're just doing work at night, it's not good, and it's not gonna count really. It's not gonna be like it's gonna be like, what did you do in the day? Or you can make it known if your boss is like a little bit more flexible and like understands that like you have certain things that you like, certain times of day that you like to edit or work. My boss was thankfully accepting of it, but other bosses might not be. Also, with that, if you're mostly editing long form videos like I was at I'd Hire Me, I would say don't slack off and don't put those off. Schedule your time and when you're going to edit certain things or fix certain things you might need to do, like social cuts or little small cuts that might happen, and you don't want to be behind when that does. Number 5, make a conscious effort to work with your peers. It's so easy to just ignore and act like your peers are not there because it's online. And even if you have like a messaging chat app like Slack or Google Chat, you might not feel inclined to reach out to them, but it's all about connections. That's how you make connections and make, friends. Like, I feel like without that, I would literally not be talking to anyone besides like my closest friends. And also, like, it gives you the chance to collaborate with your teammates. Like for me at I'd Hire Me, I would work closely with two of the other video interns, Allison and Layla, and me and Allison made the intro video together. We worked on certain ideas together, and without her, I feel like none of those things would have come to fruition, because sometimes like I have ideas and like I don't even know where to start with this, and she would be like my grounding person to like figure that out. So yeah, it's really valuable to talk to your peers and teammates other than in like the mandatory meetings. Number 6, don't delete any files. You will need files in the future, I promise you. If you delete files and your boss or your client asks for it in the future and you don't have it, like that's not good. So you're gonna want that. You're gonna want backups. As I said, backup. You're gonna want like every single thing that you edited, all the footage, everything needs to be there in the backups. And even if it's like the full video, the full export, you're gonna want stems, you're gonna want sound effects, sound, music, dialogue, captions. You're gonna want everything that was a part of the video so that if they ask for that certain thing, you have it. Number 7, stay organized. So you're gonna wanna organize everything into folders the way you like it. For me, this is how I do it. I organize it a certain way. It wasn't always the same for every single project, but I tried to make it similar. But just make a conscious effort to organize things, because you can easily lose things or like name them something that you don't remember, and then when you go to search for it, you can't find it. So just put it in your drive in a safe place where you know you can always access it. It's also important not to delete the autosave files. Those are generated automatically when you make any project, but for existing projects you want to save those, because if you go back and you're like, I didn't actually like this edit that I spent 5 hours on, that could happen, and you'll have that saved file, like the automatic save or your manual save that you did will be in those folders. Something that can waste a lot of time for editors is distractions. Stay away from distractions. Like most remote jobs, you'll be at home, you'll have all the distractions, you'll have your pet, and you want to hang out with your pet, your sibling, or your friend, or whoever during work hours, and it's easy to do because there's no accountability for anything, it feels like, but you want to be doing your job and doing it well. So stay away from distractions. You'll have calls, you'll have random calls that'll just come up, and you want to be ready for those. You'll also have to present, so keep scheduled, as I said, and make sure you're on top of everything and not around easily distractible areas like this. He wasn't here before, but now he is, because we're moving stuff around in my house. Number 9, make sure you have an ample energy supply. You gotta have enough data, processing power, and the right specs. So these are mine, covering up my serial number for any of you weirdos. A lot of times when you export, it takes a lot of processing power, it takes a lot of energy from your computers. You always want to be plugged in. If you have to, get a new graphics card or a computer with a good graphics card. I got one with a decent one, but you're gonna want one, trust me, because if you do a lot of edits, you're gonna want one with very powerful, the most power that you can get for your buck. And lastly, number 10, stretch, exercise, move your body. Editors don't do that enough. They become obese and fat and unhealthy. My skin gets disgusting because I sit and I don't move. It's not good. I don't go outside. Like, I haven't gone outside for like too long, as opposed to I feel like other people go for walks, go for bikes, do all these things. Eat healthy, eat salad, eat your protein. I have smoothies some days, but I can't always do it every day because I like things that taste good. And when I make my green smoothie, it's not always that great, but it's good for you. Fast food is easy, but don't eat it. Don't eat it. If you have to eat French fries from McDonald's, once in a while, but not all the time. Basically what I'm saying is take care of yourself. I have little weights here. I put them under my desk so I could just do some strength training, because it's hard. Without the gym, there's no gym open, so I have to figure out ways to stay fit. I have Pamela. Check out Pamela. I'll put her in the description because she's the OG. But yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in the remote work life, and it's honestly not healthy. If you remember your life before remote, you're probably a lot healthier if you're like me. Because I was always walking on campus into work, and now I just sit in this chair all day. I will also link this chair in the description because it's really good. But yeah, the home is comfortable, but you can get cabin fever and you can get tired of it. So make sure, if you feel comfortable, to be hanging out with your friends and wear a mask. It seems like this is going to be the new normal. So for a lot of people, I know it's harder to, keep motivated and keep energized in their work life, and it's easy to get distracted and all that. So hopefully these tips and tricks helped you guys a little bit, and thank you for watching. I miss you guys. Stay healthy, stay active, and keep doing great work. Bye guys. And Widgie says bye. Bye guys.